Good morning, students. I am Dr. Mrs. Suvarna Prashant Patil, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Statistics, Sadhguru Gadge Maharaj College, Karad. In previous lectures, we start with our point estimation concept. In point estimation, we have seen estimator and estimates. We have completed several points in previous lectures. In that, we start with properties of estimators. Okay. In that, first we have completed properties of estimators. First property we have completed unbiasedness, and second property efficiency also we have completed. Now we start with our next property of estimators, is that consistency. Okay, consistent estimator. Then first question arises that what is mean by consistency? Consistency means first we discuss why we have to go for consistency. Unbiasedness is not enough for properties of estimators. For that purpose we start with our next property, that is consistency. Consistency means for large n, it is a large sample property. If sample size n is a large, if sample size n is a large means n tends to infinity, then this estimator T of x1, x2, xn is equal to Tn, we consider it as Tn, is said to be consistent estimator for unknown population parameter theta if difference between this estimator and population parameter is less than epsilon. This concept is known as a consistency as n tends to infinity. Means what? If Tn is consistent estimator, means here Tn is estimator. If we take a sequence of estimators for large sample size n, then difference between population parameter and this estimator is very less. Epsilon is very negligible quantity. This difference or this deviation between population parameter and estimator is very negligible. We consider this function. Here our function contains estimator Tn, parameter theta, epsilon, sample size n. Containing all these things, we consider here function. That difference between population parameter and estimator is very negligible. Okay, this concept is known as a consistency with certain probability. If we take probability of this one, means probability of difference or deviation between estimator and its population parameter is very negligible, less than epsilon, is equal to 1, and it happens when your sample size n is large, means it at one situation it goes to your population size capital N, means as n tends to infinity, if we take probability between probability of this Tn minus theta less than epsilon is equal to 1, then we say that this Tn is consistent estimator for population parameter theta. Similarly, this definition also we write in this way. If we take probability of mod Tn minus theta, if we take instead of less than epsilon we take here greater than epsilon, then this probability is 0. Means deviation between population parameter and estimator greater than negligible quantity, thus that probability is a 0 when as n tends to infinity. Okay, here we write down here or, means this or this, then we say that Tn is consistent estimator for unknown population parameter theta. This can be written as Tn goes to theta as n tends to infinity, means Tn conversion in probability to population parameter theta as n tends to infinity. Then we say that this sequence of estimators Tn is a consistent estimator for unknown population parameter theta. Okay, this is our third property of estimator. In previous lectures we have seen unbiasedness, when this estimator is unbiased, when this estimator is efficient. Now we start with when this estimator is consistent. For consistency, definition is that. Okay, then what is actual definition of consistent estimator? That definition you may write down this one. Let x1, x2, xn be random sample offered from distribution function f. Okay, then Tn is equal to T of x1, x2, xn is said to be consistent estimator for unknown population parameter theta if and only if probability of mod Tn minus theta less than epsilon is equal to 1 as n tends to infinity. Then we say that this Tn is a consistent estimator for theta. Okay. Then we start with one example or some examples on consistency. In last year you have seen Chebyshev's inequality. That Chebyshev's inequality here we have to use for solving this type of examples. Okay. Then write down example number 1 here. What is example number 1? Let x1, x2, xn be random sample with a finite mean mu. Okay, you may write down this example. Let x1, x2, xn be random sample with a finite mean mu and finite variance sigma square. Then show that sample mean is a consistent estimator. Also you have write down. Then show that, I am writing here short form. Show that x bar n is equal to summation xi divided by n is consistent estimator for theta. Okay, this is our simple first example. For unbiasedness also you have solved this example. In that case we have seen let x1, x2, xn be random sample having finite mean, population mean mu and finite population variance sigma square. Here they have not defined any distribution of this x1, x2, xn. It is general example, means it is a random sample from with mean mu and variance sigma square. Okay. Then show that x bar is equal to summation xi divided by n. In last lectures you have seen this is unbiased estimator for population parameter theta. Same example we carry over here. We have to show that this is our estimator, means this is our Tn, x bar n is a consistent estimator for theta. We have solved this example. Okay. First you have write down given information. What they have given in this example? They have given expected value of x is equal to theta. Okay, since xi is our IID and variance of xi is also, here they have considered population mean mu. Okay, and variance of xi is equal to sigma square. Instead of taking theta they have taken here mu. Only difference is that we know that expectation x is equal to mu, then expectation x bar is also mu, means we have seen x bar is unbiased estimator of population mean mu and variance of x bar is equal to here sigma square divided by n. This is general information. Now we have to show that our statistic is that let Tn, this is our estimator or statistic, x bar n, okay, which is equal to summation xi divided by n. I is running from 1 to n. Here we show that this x bar n is a sufficient, is a consistent estimator for population parameter theta. Okay. Then here we solve this example. All of you know Chebyshev's inequality. Now by using Chebyshev's inequality, you have seen this inequality in BSc second year. By using Chebyshev's inequality. Okay, what is here Chebyshev's inequality? Chebyshev's inequality is that probability of mod Tn minus theta, okay, less than epsilon greater than or equal to 1 minus variance of, here we take here Tn, okay, our Tn is x bar n, then we replace this Tn by x bar n. So here we writing here variance of Tn divided by epsilon square. Okay, this is our Chebyshev's inequality. This inequality here we have to use to show that this Tn is a consistent estimator for theta. By using this inequality, you remember this inequality, probability that mod, here we take deviation between statistic and your population parameter, less than epsilon greater than or equal to 1 minus variance of this statistic divided by epsilon square. Here our statistic Tn is equal to x bar n. So we substitute here Tn equal to x bar n, also variance of x bar n, and then find out this inequality. Okay. Now we substitute our values in this inequality. Probability mod, here Tn is x bar n, Tn x bar n minus theta, okay, less than epsilon, greater than or equal to 1 minus, what is variance of a Tn? Means variance of your x bar n divided by epsilons, okay, which is equal to, I write only here 1 minus variance of x bar n is our sigma square divided by n, and this quantity here epsilon square. Okay, what is our target? We have to show that x bar n is consistent estimator for theta, means as n tends to infinity this value goes to 1. This is our definition of consistency. All of you remember, as n tends to infinity this probability goes to 1. If this inequality satisfies, then we say that Tn means x bar n is consistent for theta. Okay, means here we take limit of both sides. We have to take as n tends to infinity this probability mod x bar n minus theta less than epsilon greater than or equal to, taking limits of both sides. So here also limit n tends to infinity 1 minus sigma square divided by n epsilon square by definition of consistency. Now we have to take limit of this right hand side, which is greater than or equal to limit of 1, constant of limit is constant. So limit of 1 as n tends to infinity is here 1. Okay. Sigma square also constant, epsilon square also constant. 1 upon n, limit of 1 upon n means this quantity becomes 0. So I write down here directly 1 minus 0. Means what here we expect that, what here we got that, I write here again, limit n tends to infinity, probability this value, mod x bar n minus theta less than epsilon this one, greater than or equal to 1. Okay. Then remember definition of a consistency. In definition of consistency we have seen that probability of mod Tn minus theta less than epsilon equal to 1 as n tends to infinity. But here in this example we got that which is greater than or equal to 1. But all of you know that our probability always lies between 0 to 1. This is our definition of probability, that our probability of any event always lies between 0 to 1. It does not exceed 1. So here it does not greater than 1. It must be equal to 1. So which implies limit n tends to infinity, probability mod, this is our Tn means x bar n minus theta, this deviation between estimator and population parameter less than epsilon is equal to 1. Okay, is equal to 1, it does not exceed 1, which is greater than, it does not satisfy since probability lies between 0 to 1. Hence, this is equal to 1, means our definition of consistency here satisfies. That is, this also we write in this way that probability mod x bar n minus theta less than epsilon is equal to 1 as n tends to infinity. And all of you remember definition of a consistency. In definition we have seen that as n tends to infinity, this probability mod x bar n means our Tn minus theta less than epsilon. Epsilon is very negligible quantity. This difference less than epsilon is equal to exactly 1. When this happens? When as n tends to infinity. Hence we say that this x bar n is consistent estimator for theta. Means result is that here I have write down x bar n convergent in probability to theta. Okay, meaning is that x bar n is consistent estimator. X bar n is consistent estimator of theta. Okay, that is sample mean. What is x bar n here? X bar n is nothing but sample mean. Okay, in previous lectures we have seen sample mean is unbiased estimator of population mean theta. In this case our theta is mu. It may be population mean mu or theta, whatever may be notations are there. Sample mean is here we show that consistent estimator. Sample mean is a consistent estimator for population mean theta. Okay, and this is our third property of estimator. In previous lectures same example we have shown that sample mean is unbiased estimator for population mean theta. Also in second property we have shown that sample mean is unbiasedness and also efficient estimator for population mean theta. And same way our this is third example is that sample mean is consistent estimator for population mean theta. Means sample mean is a very consistent, efficient and unbiasedness estimator for population mean theta. Means instead of using population mean we have used here sample mean, that is x bar n. This is our first example of consistency. Okay, now next point is that sufficient condition of consistency. In all examples we does not satisfy Chebyshev's inequality or whatever maybe we have to show that x bar n is consistent for theta in various ways. Okay, so our next point is that sufficient condition of consistency. Okay, sufficient condition of consistency means how we have to show that our estimator is a consistent estimator of theta. Our sufficient condition is that let x1, x2 so on up to xn be random sample from population mean mu and population variance sigma square. Okay, this is general example or general condition is that we have taken a sample from population and then population has population mean mu and population variance sigma square. Then if Tn is equal to T of x1, x2, xn is a sequence of estimators is said to be consistent estimator for unknown population parameter mu if first condition is that expected value of Tn is equal to mu. Okay, as n tends to infinity. This is first condition. Means if we increase our sample size as n tends to infinity, your statistic expectation of this estimator is equal to mu. This is first condition. Meaning is that here bias goes to 0. Here bias goes to 0 as n tends to infinity. Means there is no bias. This is first condition. And second condition is that variance of Tn is equal to 0 as n tends to infinity. If a sequence of estimators Tn satisfies these two conditions, then we say that this Tn is a consistent estimator for theta. Okay, in first example we use Chebyshev's inequality. In second example we use the sufficient condition of consistency. What is sufficient condition of consistency? Means here if we increase our sample size n very large, means indefinitely as n tends to infinity, means if we increase n it goes to population size capital N. In that case first condition is that if expected value of Tn is equal to its mu, means mean, and variance of Tn goes to 0 as n tends to infinity, then we say that this Tn is a consistent estimator for population mean mu. Okay, this is sufficient condition of consistency. Whatever maybe you have to use here, if expected value of, instead of taking here Tn is equal to sigma square, condition is same. If expectation of Tn is equal to sigma square as n tends to infinity and variance of this Tn is equal to 0, then we say that this Tn is a consistent estimator for population variance sigma square. Here population parameter, anyone you have to use, whatever maybe you have to use here, mu or sigma square. Condition is this one. Means this estimator is unbiased estimator for population parameter. It happens when you increase your n and its variance goes to 0, then we say that this Tn is a consistent estimator for theta. Okay, by using this sufficient condition, we solve here one example. Using this condition, we start with one example. So we solve one example for consistency by using sufficient condition of consistency. Okay, now you write down this example number 2. First example we have seen by using Chebyshev's inequality, and second example you have write down by using sufficient condition of consistency. Okay, now let, this is second example, let x1, x2, xn be random sample taken from population having distribution normal with parameter mu sigma square. Okay, here we take one example that our distribution normal mu sigma square. Then you show that, first example you may write down your notebook, that sample variance, okay, sample variance, which is denoted by small s square, is not unbiased, but consistent, okay, but consistent estimator for population variance sigma square. Okay, this is our second example. In first example here we take population mean. In second example we take population variance sigma square, means another parameter here we take. Here we have to show that sample variance, which is small s square, is not unbiased. This part we have completed in our previous lecture, not unbiased. In previous lecture we have seen that sample variance is not unbiased estimator for population variance sigma square. In this example we start with sample variance is consistent estimator for population variance sigma square. Unbiasedness part we have completed in previous lecture, you see that lecture. And also second part here we have to show that sample mean square. Okay, this is our next estimator, which is denoted by capital S square. Sample mean square is, all of you know that sample mean square is unbiased and also consistent estimator for population variance sigma square. Means here we have to show that sample variance is also consistent and sample mean square is also consistent estimator for population variance sigma square. Okay, now we start with this example. All of you know that Tn is equal to s square. Formula of s square means sample variance. Okay, this is our sample variance, which is equal to 1 upon n summation xi minus x bar bracket square. Here we have to show that this sample variance is consistent estimator for population variance sigma square. There are several methods to solve this type of example. Here we use our sufficient condition. Okay, I have write down here short form of this. Our sufficient condition means here we have to show that expected value of S square is equal to sigma square as n tends to infinity, and also we have to show that variance of S square is equal to 0 as n tends to infinity. This is short form of our sufficient condition. First we have find out expected value of S square. Now our target is that we have to find out expected value of S square. Now to find out expected value of S square, in previous lecture we have seen one method. In this lecture we start with another method, means both methods you are familiar. In first method you have calculate actual expected value of this, means in previous lecture you have solve this bracket square, then we take summation inside the bracket and then divide all these terms by n and so on, and then we have calculate expected value of that is S square, and all of you remember that in that example expected S square not equal to sigma square, and we have given the result that S square is not unbiased estimator for sigma square. Okay, this is one example or this is one method. Now we start with our next method. Since they have given that xi follows normal with a parameter mu sigma square. This is our given information. Xi follows normal mu sigma square. In this case, if we take standard normal, means xi minus mu divided by sigma, which follows normal with a parameter 0, 1. Okay. Remaining part in this lecture or in this example, for this example we start with our next lecture. All of you remember that if xi follows normal mu sigma square, then we make standard normal xi minus mu divided by sigma follows normal 0, 1. Remaining part of this example we start with our next lecture. Okay, thank you.